Backboard training is a great way to develop more consistent ground strokes, quicker reactions, endurance, and increased racket control. After a 4 to 6 week training program, players have been found to hit their shots harder while making fewer mistakes. The purpose behind hitting on the backboard is real simple, is that you can hit a lot of balls in a short amount of time. And you're also able to work specifically on your racket control, how hard you're hitting the ball, and your movement and your reaction time once you see that ball coming off the wall. The first piece that I'd like to discuss is the grips and the racket control. Working with the strength of the forearm and the agility and the control of the ball on your racket, which really helps the next part. Part two is where you're working on your footwork and your movement and understanding what position you need to get in to hit the best shot possible. Part three is where we're working on individual shots on the right side of your body, and then we're working on the left side shots, and then we're also working on trying to hit both sides alternating back and forth to work on that movement and that getting set for each side shot. We're also working on the short, mid, and long distances, which the short are the volley and the half volley. The mid distances are going to be the shorter ground stroke and the overhead, and then the long distances are going to be the serve and the ground stroke. Part four is where we're going to be working on the specific shots. So for the short area, we're going to work on the volleys and the half volleys. And then we'll back up, working on a longer backswing for the mid-court area, forehand and backhand ground strokes. And then the mid-court area, we're also going to be hitting overheads, where we're able to take a little bit longer swing, and then from the long court, we're also going to do the serves, which you can see here, I'm able to hit the ball and the ball comes right back to me. So again, here we have the Eastern grip, and to be able to get the Eastern grip, we just lay the racket down on the ground and pick it up, and then your knuckle should be on the side of the grip. The other grip we're going to be using is the Continental grip or the hammer grip. You can see that I just turn it and act like I'm shaking somebody's hand with the racket. I'm going to be doing bounce downs with the Eastern and the Continental grips. When I'm working with the racket control drills like these, I'm going to be doing them individually and then also in relays where we're actually moving. Bounce downs, bounce ups. So we're going to do some high lows. Roll the ball around the head of the racket, really gaining a lot of control with your hand-eye coordination. So here again we have the Continental grip. You just turn it over like you're shaking the racket's hand. If you get really good at these racket skills, you're going to develop great eye-hand coordination, and your game is going to pick up tremendously. In some of the racket control drills, we're going to be hitting the ball down on the edge. And then the next one is I like to be able to hit down and then up. We're not actually tapping it up, we're just letting the ball fall down on the edge of the top edge of the racket. Here's some more racket control drills. The tap up with the Continental grip. I hit one side and then I flip it over to the other side. There's the Continental grip with the hitting down and on both sides of the racket. And the next one coming up, I'm going to work on the edges. So here I'm hitting on the edge and then on the face, and then on the edge again on the other side. Really working on that forearm strength. And the next one coming up, I'm going to work on the edges. You see a lot of the great tennis players on the sidelines before they play doing these racket control drills, which shows a lot of confidence in their abilities with the racket. Here I'm working on my footwork. So you have to run to each shot if it's too far away, and then a little bit of a shuffle, and then maybe a curl behind. All these little movements really help you get into a better position to hit the best shot possible. Most of the time, the best position possible is to hit in a sideways position so you can step into your shot. Here's the volley in the short court. You can see that my racket's ready when I toss the ball and I'm sideways. So I'm going to toss the ball up and hit it across to my backhand side so I can practice that shot. And then I'm trying to hit the ball up into the blue area. And then with the short court and the half volley, I'm trying to hit the ball right off the bounce. So you can see here, start with your racket back and sideways, drop, tap, and get your racket back. What I'm really trying to do here is in this position with the short court half volleys, I'm using the Continental grip because it's so quick I don't have time to be able to change my grip. So on the mid court here, I'm getting the racket straight down and back, and with a short follow through and a short backswing because it's a little bit quicker hit than a long court ground stroke. And now I've switched my grip over to the Eastern forehand, which allows for a little bit more topspin on the ball. You can see in the mid-court shot right here, I'm following through, I have a nice rhythm, and I'm keeping the ball in a perfect spot. Now when I go side to side in the alternating shots, I do have to change my grip. So it makes you really develop that quickness with your footwork and your control of where you're hitting it. Now this is the overhead where I'm going to hit the ball down on the ground and let it bounce up against the wall over my head. And now I'm getting my racket back quick, and the racket's out to the side, and I'm just tossing it up to the right to get a good position with the ball to be able to snap the wrist down for the good overhead. Now with the long court, I'm going to have to hit the ball a little higher and a little bit harder, but you can see the racket just never stops. As soon as I hit it, I'm getting my racket back ready for the next shot. And as I'm hitting and I'm watching the ball bounce off the wall, I'm getting ready for that next position. It's very important to be able to move and do your footwork, get your racket back, and visualize where that next position is going to be so you're ready for it. You're anticipating the bounce off the wall, which really helps with your anticipation of the next shot. So here I'm working on the broken serve with the full follow through. I start the racket up above my head just like I would as an overhead. So the cool thing about this is I can practice the serve and catch the ball and get ready for the next serve instead of hitting a bunch of serves out of a basket and having to go pick them all up. The next part to the serve here is the rhythm serve, where I'm doing the backswing straight back to the camera, and then I'm bending my elbow just like the broken serve position behind my head. Behind hitting on the backboard is real simple, is that you can hit a lot of balls in a short amount of time. And you're also able to work specifically on your racket control, how hard you're hitting the ball, and your movement and your reaction time once you see that ball coming off the wall. Backboard training is a great way to develop more consistent ground strokes, quicker reactions, endurance, and increased racket control. After a 4 to 6 week training program, players have been found to hit their shots harder while making fewer mistakes.